Kamala Harris will not run for California governor in 2026. Tyrone Bowman live. Welcome to the program. Let's talk about it. Former Vice President, according to the San Francisco Chronicle, former Vice President Kamala Harris will not run for governor of California in 2026. She announced Wednesday leaving in place a crowded field of Democrats with no clear front runner. She left open the possibility that she may run for the White House in 2028. Quote, in recent months, I have given serious thought to asking the people of California for the privilege to serve as their governor. End quote. Harris said Wednesday in a statement, I love this state, its people, and its promise. It is my home, but after deep reflection, I've decided that I will not run for governor in this election. End quote. Harris lost the 2024 presidential race to Donald Trump after stepping in at the 11th hour as the Democratic nominee in place of then President Joe Biden. While she easily won California over Trump in November, her margin of victory was smaller than Biden's in 2020 because more Black and Latino voters backed Trump. Harris said that after 6 months of reflection and consideration of the best ways to continue fighting to advance her values, she decided to take a step back from running for office, but she appeared to leave the door open for another White House bid in 2028. And you know what? Harris should run in 2028. There's no reason why she should not run. For now, my leadership and public service will not be in elected office. I look forward to getting back out and listening to the American people, helping elect Democrats across the nation who will fight fearlessly and share more details in the months ahead about my own plans, Harris said. Said longtime advisor Sean Clegg, I don't think running for president right now is our focus, but she's not taking it off the table. The list of Democratic candidates for governor includes Senate President Pro Tem Tony Atkins, Lieutenant Governor Eleni Kolanakis, State Schools Chief Tony Thurmond, former Los Angeles Mayor Antonio Veragosia, former Controller Betty Yee, former Rep. Katie Porter, and former Health and Human Services Secretary Xavier Becerril. Republicans Chad Benko, the Riverside County Sheriff, and former Fox News host Steve Hilton are also running. I'll be right back right after this. Did you find that song? I'll pull it up. I'll go out here. You're watching Tyrone Bowman Live. I had to take a quick break. I'm talking about former Vice President Kamala Harris said she will not run to become governor of California in 2026. People are trying to find out what exactly is she going to be doing, and I don't blame her for not revealing her plans. Harris's entry promised to reshape the field. She would bow out if Harris listened. Kolalakis said she would bow out if Harris ran, and Porter had said she would likely exit the race too. Other candidates also thought to be eyeing a move to other offices instead of running against the former vice president. Quote, she listened to her instincts about whether she wanted this to be her next big act. Clegg said she very much looks at things from the perspective of how can I have the biggest impact? And she likes a lot of the people who are running. Ultimately, it's pretty simple. She didn't feel the calling. Representative Robert Garcia, a Democrat from Long Beach, a longtime Harris ally, said that he'd been consulting with her over the decision for the last several months and that there's no question she would have won the governor's race. But I don't think she's thinking much about 2028, really, Garcia said. The 2026 race will be shaped for California's relationship with the Trump administration, which under Newsom has been rocky, At Newsom's urging, state lawmakers approved $50 million in funding to fight Trump's policies in court. Attorney General Robert Bonta has already sued the Trump administration more than 30 times over its attempt to end birthright citizenship, freeze federal grant funding, and other actions. And Trump has attacked the state over its water management, including by insinuating state leaders in the midst of devastating wildfires, as well as its policies protecting transgender residents, high-speed rail, and more. You know, Republicans are in trouble. And I'm going to tell you why they are in trouble, because they signed on and bought it in totality for the BBB, the Big Beautiful Bill. The economy is terrible. People are not going to forget about that. Immigration is a major problem. They're not going to forget about that. Listen, the workforce stoppage in America is horrible. People aren't going to forget about that either. And if you think that people are just going to blindly go through life and just take what's being thrown at them by politicians, people are wrong. Harris's statement Wednesday could be seen as advice for the candidates in the race. We must recognize that our policies, our government, and our institutions have too often failed the American people, culminating in this moment of crisis, she said. As we look ahead, we must be willing to pursue change through new methods and fresh thinking, committed to our same values and principles, but not bound by the same playbook. I liken this to a boxing match. Many times when people are boxing, they don't win the matches that they want to win. But if they stay in it long enough, if they get the right management, the right coach, the right team, the right training, you can come back and you can win. Just because somebody doesn't win the first time doesn't mean they can't win the second time. That's the bottom line. Just because you don't like somebody doesn't mean that they can't win. Garcia said Harris remains incredibly popular with Democrats nationwide. He envisions her being able to go into some of these House swing districts and some of these seats we have to flip, not just here in California, but across the country. She'll be able to help raise money and should be able to help us organize on the ground, he said. Harris and her advisors have contemplated a listening tour with voters around the country that isn't transactional or about voting for her, but about shining a light on the problems of the country, Clegg said. But nothing is in place yet. He also said she has considered forming a political action committee to support Democrats in the 2026 elections. After serving in elective office since 2003 and in public service since she graduated from law school, Clegg said Harris wanted to get outside of the establishment and do some deep listening and see if we can have an impact that way. Harris also has been working on a book that is expected to be published in mid-September. Let's go to the comment section. Sun State says, hi, hey, what's happening? Chocolate rain, whatever that means. What does chocolate rain mean? You bring it down to me. I don't know what chocolate rain means. All right. And Byra, what's happening? How you doing? All right, everybody. Thank you for watching as always, and thank you for listening. Never surrender. Never quit.